actually had a very interesting meeting with Ali Abdaal. I mean, that's right. I had this really incredible meeting with Ali, and it was a beautiful 30-minute meeting. And you know what? He was doing all the talking, and I was just simply sitting there and writing notes because I was really, really writing notes, and I was watching the video. Okay, so now this is like a total mindset thing. Like basically what I'm telling myself is now whenever I'm in a research mode and I'm listening to YouTubers that I really love, I respect, I just love what they have to say, and it's such a learning experience. So for me, I tell myself, you know what? This is great. And every video that I'm going to be watching, it's going to be like a business meeting. I am going to be looking at it purely as a business meeting. And that is how I'm watching all my videos now. I mean, especially from creators that I enjoy. There's a couple of creators right now I'm watching. Ali Abdaal is, of course, one of it. And of course, I like watching Think Media, all the guys from Think Media. Shout out to all of them because thank you guys. You really put me in focus. And of course, my latest, the two guys that I really like right now, I call them Batman and Robin, is basically Samir and Colin. I always believe when you watch a video and you can learn one thing from that video, guess what? It's totally worth your time. So to me, those are business meetings, and I take it every day. Every day I have a business meeting with one of these guys. They don't know it, but yep, they're having a business meeting with me. Okay, so now let's come back to the Ali Abdal episode where he was basically just talking about the latest trend where a lot of people are leaving YouTube. And normally that's not a video I would click, but I wanted to click on it because I'm sure if he's going to make a video saying something, he's going to be dropping some really important information. And I'm so happy that I watched that video or I took that meeting with him because wow, it was really cool. So in this video, I'm going to talk about stuff that I heard from him or what I understood. Plus, I'm also going to be giving you a little bit of insight of what I think, what is happening or how I see this entire thing. Because, you know, Ali Abdal is more an established YouTuber, whereas I am somebody who's totally new. Okay, so basically, what I understood out of the video was, at least from him, or at least what I understood from him, is he was basically saying, like, listen, you know what, YouTubers are leaving YouTube right now because what happens is either they are not enjoying the process anymore, or maybe now it's just all about views and raising the views so that way they can make more money or they can maintain. I'm going to have a little bit of different take on it. So this is how I see it. I think when you are starting out, it is the most easiest to be, even though it's the most difficult part because you have totally nothing and you're starting from scratch, but you don't have the same amount of pressure on your shoulders as you would if you had, let's say, 4 or 5 million subscribers, and now you need to release a video so that way it matches the expectation of all these folks who are subscribed to you. I hope I'm kind of making sense out of it. In other words, I would love to be Mr. Beast, but at the same time, I would hate to be Mr. Beast because, you know, he's the number one guy in this entire landscape. He's basically bringing the bar up so high that everybody's looking up to him. But if you ask him honestly, it's very high pressure for him to walk around saying, I'm Mr. Beast, and my God, my next video has to be better than all the videos that I have made before. It's a lot of pressure, right? I mean, there's a lot of pressure. And of course, when you're at that stage, you have a whole team of people working for you, throwing ideas at you, stuff like that. I'm sure all that is happening. But oh my God, when I go to sleep, I'm thinking, I just made a video. I only got 10 people to look at it. Yay, I'm so happy. I'm so dope. But you know what? If I made another video and nobody looked at it, I would be so upset. I would be more like, whoa, what happened? What did I do wrong? The other video got 10 views and this one got only 2. Oh my God. That's what I would be saying. Now look at it from the perspective of Mr. Beast. If he made a video and let's say 20 million people watched it, okay? And then he made another video and only 1 million people watched it. You know what? If I was him, I would have a panic attack and I will be in the hospital in ICU. That's why you'll have to come and see me because it's like one of those things, right? Where you're just as good as your next video. It's very sad. It shouldn't be like that. And that's what happens when you go from a beginning video maker, content designer to an established one. There's no going back. And I was reading something, and I was also speaking to myself actually. So this is more like an audio memo to myself also, because I'm sure I'm going to be listening to it at some point too, is what happens is when you first start out, the monster is just an idea. You are making a monster, but right now it's still an idea. So if you do something wrong, it doesn't really matter. But once this monster really gets big and huge, oh my God, you need to feed it. Because if you don't feed it, that's right, it's going to die. And you created this monster and you're going to feed it and it's going to become bigger and you have to feed it some more. Then it's going to become more bigger than that. Then you have to feed it. And oh my God, the next thing you know, you have this entire giant of a monster running around your head and you're thinking, ah, geez, how do I come up with my next idea? How do I come up with my next idea that will defeat the idea before? Like I today came up with a few cool ideas. I took a meeting with myself and I came with a few cool ideas. I wrote it down and I'm telling myself, these are really cool ideas. But can I get better ideas than this even tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like it's like that little struggle that you have inside of you. So to me, I always like to write things down because I tell myself, just write things down. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's perfectly fine. But write things down. Don't keep things in your head just because it's just not going to work. So it's like one of those things, right? So what you do is now you're asking yourself, okay, like how do I come up with ideas? Like I would always take a notebook. I would always take a notebook and I would write the ideas down. Whether the ideas are really good, the ideas are not good, or a germ of an idea, whatever, I don't care. I would write everything down. And I will always look at the pages later on and tell myself, hey, you know what? I like this guy. Maybe this idea and that idea coming together could be another idea. And of course, I like that. I mean, you guys remember back in the 80s, and I'm aging myself right now. Back in the 80s, I used to actually have this Rolodex device. I don't know if you remember. It was this thing that had like more than 500 to 1,000 cards, and it was like in a circular mode. Like, there were different designs, of course, but this was like a circular thing. And I would love to have one of those Rolodex right now because then that's what I would do. I would take out a piece of paper, write some ideas, throw it in there, and keep spinning it, right? Like every time when I'm trying to read, I would spin it. It's such a great idea. I think I should do that again because I've been to stationery shops. Nobody sells a Rolodex anymore, at least not where I'm living, at least. But it's such a great idea to actually do that where you could put all your ideas there. So what I do now is I will actually use post-its and I will throw all the ideas on the post-its and I will put it in my book and I will keep moving around. I like using post-its because sometimes I'd like to move the ideas around. Like I like to merge ideas. So something on this side might work with something from that side. And that's how my book is like a total mess. And I like to work that way. So if you are trying to get into a YouTube like into this whole YouTube adventure. I want to use it like that because I think it is a really beautiful adventure. It's really cool. And what you can do is you can actually even piggyback on other people's ideas. Like take somebody's idea and make it your own. So you don't have to come up with a very original idea because, oh, come on, please. Look, all the ideas out there are just the same thing said again and again, but by different people adding their experience to it. And that's what makes it very unique. So whenever I'm making a video, I always tell myself, well, I've heard that idea before, but what is my experience on that idea? And let me make that into a podcast or at least into a video because I think that's pretty cool. And of course, at this stage, when I'm starting out, and same as you, even though I have more than 200 videos on my channel, it's a learning process. I want to learn to make better videos. I want to be able to make better content, better videos, storytelling in a different way. So that way, people would enjoy plus learn something at the same time. So I'm like providing a service, but at the same time, I'm also learning this entire world because this is a totally different world for me. And it's so cool. It's like if you're a creative person, even slightly a creative person, this is the most perfect medium because you need to work with video, audio, special effects. You need to edit for content. You need to have A-roll video and then B-roll video. I mean, your imagination could really, really run wild if you really step back and think about all of this. And the nice thing about all this is, of course, is you learn editing. I think editing is such a valued tool for people who are trying to get into this business because the editing is where the story really is. Because I could say so many things, but the way I cut it and paste it and put things together, is what really makes the value of the video. Anyway, so I'm going to, end my podcast right over here. Just wanted to make one and just to throw it out there, just to let you guys know that, listen, yes, people are leaving YouTube is because, it's a money game for them right now. And if they're not making the money that they're supposed to be making, of course they're going to leave it. But for me, yes, money is important, sure, but I'm more interested in the process.